All right. What's up?
What's going on?
How are you?
Doing well. How are you, sir?
Explain to the people who you are.
Well, hi, people. I'm Mikey Garasic. You can find me at Mikey Garasic on Instagram. My podcast is The Primal Practice. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, The Primal Practice, all there. Super relevant to the times, health and wellness information. Love talking about it. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit today. I don't know. I don't exactly know what we're talking about, Matt Nakash.
Yeah, we're just getting into it. I kind of put him on spot.
We're just
Got
here.
him to record a video with me. I wanted him to be on one of my videos. Today I wanted to talk about a little bit more of mental health. I know I've been talking about it in past videos. I'm going to start asking you questions, seeing what your outlook and outtake is, and if you deal with any of that. Is that cool?
Yeah, man.
All right, let's get started.
Am I going to cry during this video?
You might be able to. Dang it. So give us just a slight bit of background. You don't have to go in full detail, but a little about your childhood, how maybe stuff you've dealt with.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit earlier. For most of my life, I was pretty hypochondriac, meaning, I guess a good example would be what I told you earlier was when I went to my wisdom tooth consultation. So it wasn't the actual procedure being done on me yet, but it was the consultation. The dentist told me that there was this 1% things that could go wrong with the operation. It was this long list. Like, all I remember is just like thing after thing after thing after thing that could go wrong. And unfortunately, didn't get to finish telling me this because I passed out. And then it was like a movie scene when I woke up. It was like a giant bright light, and kind of like these lights right here shining in my face, and like two doctors standing over top of me, like, "Are you alive?" Like, it was really interesting. And then I didn't tell you this part, but when you go hypoxic, like you lose a lot of air to your brain.
Okay.
And that's what happened to me, and then everything like on your body starts to freeze up. So my hands started doing this, and my body, I couldn't move anymore. Like I was stuck like this.
Oh man.
They sent me away on an ambulance.
Yikes.
They sent me to the hospital.
How was that drive?
Awful.
Awful.
I never want to be in an ambulance again. I don't even like hospitals. I'm not a big fan of them. It's like not. They put me out in a hallway with an IV.
I mean, they do their part, but
yeah. So
nobody likes being in a hospital.
Right. Yeah. So there's been a lot of instances. Like one time, I don't know how graphic. I don't know if this is like PG-13, but
no, this is whatever you want to say.
Whatever. Okay. One time I was going pee and
you say this is PG-13, and you say once I was going pee.
All right, rated R. I was going pee.
Okay.
I was going pee.
Okay.
And it hurt really bad when I was peeing.
Okay.
And the first thing that pops in my mind was I am passing a kidney stone.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that. I don't know why my pee hurt, honestly.
Mm.
But my brain went to worst case scenario, and I woke up. I was over top of my bathtub with the shower curtain on top of me. And yeah, I've passed out at quite a few things in my life of things like that. Just like taking on symptoms that like thinking like the worst case scenario things that could be wrong with me.
Yeah.
And then I guess to make the long story short is like I discovered health and wellness. I found some like health and wellness influencers. I was like, I didn't even know this life existed. I didn't know that I could like feel healthy, happy, like anxiety-free, depression-free for most of my life. I didn't think that was a thing. Like, I just thought you had to deal with it.
Yeah.
I thought you grew old and started to like acquire chronic diseases, like badges of honor of like all these different things that like it's super normal now to have diabetes, to have Alzheimer's is on the rise.
It's not a good thing.
No, not at all. And I never knew that like I could live a life where I wasn't going to end up in a nursing home because that's like what you see. But like, to be honest, what I learned is like you can have none of those things and have so much more abundance in life just through different health and wellness modalities, I guess. But I guess that's what I'm passionate about now. Is like my mom had psoriasis, and that's when this all happened. That's when I started eating better because my mom started eating better. None of the pills were working to help her psoriasis, so she found some people online. And she started eating better, got the whole house eating better. I was raised on Pop-Tarts Pop and a box of cereal a day probably.
Little Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles.
I loved those, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So. There it is. That's why maybe backstory.
And that's good. One thing I will say, you talked about how you're in health and wellness. I'm not big into that, but I know you are, and I know he's one of the best people out there. If you were ever looking for stuff to check out, like tips, tricks, go to this guy. He'll be the best. I'll leave his stuff down below. Yeah, phenomenal at what you do.
Thank you.
So the hypochondriac, it sounds more of a anxiety based, like on edge, like heart racing, like you don't know where to go. What did you use to fill that void? Like, oh, there's something wrong. I need to feel like. What did you do to help yourself in that scenario?
Like back then, I had nothing, so I just kind of rode the wave and waited for it to end. Nowadays, I'm still prone towards anxiety, especially with everything going on in the world right now. There was some episodes with me with like waking up in the middle of the night, like, oh gosh, like I'm gonna die from this. Just out of nowhere, like waking up in the middle of the night, it's like it's in the back of my mind. And there's so many different things now that I like pull on to like help me through that. But before all this happened, like honestly, I didn't deal with it anymore. Like, it's understandable right now for anybody listening too, is like if you're dealing with depression, anxiety, like very normal response to what's going on right now. Absolutely a normal response. But there are things that you can do and be proactive to keep yourself out of that. Like we were talking something as simple as like journaling and documenting your experience of what's happening, getting thoughts onto paper. And like I was telling you, like a list of supplements that I was taking to help restore the neurochemical balance, to help get your feel-good chemicals back in your brain and firing. And honestly, anxiety, what's happening is your fight or flight response, your limbic system in your brain, your amygdala is just rapid firing. It's overstimulated, and your body's like, bro, we gotta fight or flight. Like we have to get out of here. Like it's just a response that is built into us as humans. And there's ways to tap into that. Like one of my favorite ways is meditation, and another one is breath work. I don't know if I've ever talked to you about that.
You have recently. Yeah,
so breath work is like your lungs are attached to your nervous system. So you have two branches of your nervous system. I don't know if I can get sciencey or not.
Just a little bit.
I'm not going to go too far. I'll just give you this.
Surface level.
You have a parasympathetic, rest and digest.
Okay.
Sympathetic, fight or flight. Nervous systems. Okay. So your breath ties in these two nervous systems. So when you take a breath in, you're spiking your sympathetic. When you're breathing out, you're spiking your parasympathetic. So there's a breathing technique called the 4-7-8 method.
4-7-8, okay.
So you breathe in for 4. It's a shorter breath in. Hi, buddy. Can you go lay down here, bud? Whoop. That's my dog, River.
There you go.
So when you breathe in for 4 seconds, lay down. Lay down. Sorry. Breathe in for 4 seconds. That's a shorter breath. And then breathe out for 8 seconds. You're prolonging the amount of your parasympathetic nervous system activation. So you do 4 in. Let's do it together, Matt.
Oh, I just started doing it.
Okay. Let's do it together. My posture is terrible.
Mine's awful too.
4. So 4 seconds in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Hold for 7. Out for 8. You just do rounds of that, dude. Woo! I don't know if you feel anything now, but
it feels good.
Good. If you're
hopefully you tried that if you're watching.
I hope you did try that. It is one of the best things that you can do if you're somebody who's prone to anxiety. Just focus on your breath, which is also meditation. That's mindfulness meditation, and do that 4-7-8 breath work, and it can take you from 10 to 1.
That's good, man. That's good.
There you go.
Anything else you have? Actually, you know what? Sit right here. I'm gonna give you a 30-second plug by yourself. Say what you gotta say. Say what you want to say.
30-second plug.
30-second plug.
Is this the end of the video?
Yeah, it's the end of the video, man.
Okay.
I'll have you on for more for sure. But I have a very short time frame for my videos, so there you go.
Yeah, just check me out on Instagram if you're interested in anything that I've been talking about. There's so much more. This is literally just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, for sure.
As far as health and wellness, you can become a superhuman, and that's like what I'm super interested in. Is just overcoming a lot of the crappy things that come along with being human, and just realizing that diet, lifestyle, and exercise and all these different things that we can do to just stay healthy is super fascinating for me. And if it's fascinating for you, check me out at Mikey Garasic at Instagram. Primal Practice, The Primal Practice, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
Well, I hope everybody liked the video. I hope you liked Mikey. He'll be on here a while. I'll have him on a lot. And
Thanks, man.
that was the video. Bye now.